Meet the 2018 Buick Regal TourX, the latest model to play around with the formula of taking a sporty wagon, jacking the suspension up a bit in an attempt to appeal to American SUV buyers. Now, this one leans a bit more towards the on-road side of the performance spectrum, but I really like this vehicle. I like the way it looks, and with some pretty big caveats, I really like driving it as well. Let's hop behind the wheel and I'll show you what I mean. Now, normally with these kind of crossovers, my first impression is that this is a way to ruin a perfectly good wagon, but I'm actually kind of alright with the TourX's design. The 1-inch lift doesn't do a whole lot to change the proportions or the silhouette, and I actually think that the plastic cladding that they've added to make it look more SUV-like worked pretty well with the Buick's exterior design. This is a handsome looking vehicle. I especially like the detail of the bit of chrome trim that goes across the top of the windows all the way to the back of the vehicle, where it hooks into and integrates with the taillight design. That's a nice touch. Now on the inside, we've got a design that is good looking, though maybe not good feeling. The dashboard is really well put together and there are no unnecessary rattles or anything like that, but the materials themselves are kind of cheap. They're hard plastics everywhere you look. This just kind of feels like a budget vehicle. However, Buick has put a lot of effort into making sure that this is a very quiet ride. They've got their quiet tuning program with things like extra sound deadening and even foam in the wheel and tire package to cut down on road noise. There's active noise canceling that works sort of like noise canceling headphones, but for the entire car using the car stereo. There's also tuning in the suspension and the way that the vehicle is designed to cut down on wind noise and road noise and things like that. Overall, you get a very comfortable, very quiet ride, whether you're on a surface road or on the highway. It really soaks up speed bumps well. I really think this is a great car for a road trip. Now under the hood, we've got Buick's 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine making 250 horsepower and around 295 pound-feet of torque. That's a decent amount of power for a vehicle of this size, but you wouldn't necessarily tell it from behind the wheel. And that's because the 8-speed automatic is kind of a killjoy. Not that I'm saying this car feels underpowered, it climbs the hill well, but when you go for a pass or a freeway merge, that transmission is just so slow to downshift that sometimes there's about a 1 to 2 second delay between putting your foot down and actually getting the acceleration that you've requested. And that just makes the car feel slow and unresponsive. Now the ride quality itself is also a little bit weird. This car handles pretty good. It sticks in corners well, the steering goes where you point it, but there's so much sort of like loosey-goosiness in the suspension and so little feel in the steering that it creates this sort of disconnected feel between what I'm doing up here and what's happening down below with the car. And it makes this pretty good handling, again, feel really sort of sloppy and disconnected. Then again, everybody's not looking for a bolt-it-down, feel every bump in the road, sport-tuned driving experience. Some people just want something that's comfortable and quiet and spacious, and this delivers all of that with a healthy dose of all-wheel drive for a little bit of off-road cred. Okay, let's talk dollars. The 2018 Buick Regal TourX starts at around $30,000. Now, fully loaded with all the options, all the driver aid features, you're looking at like a $42,000 car. That's not a terrible price for a car this comfortable and quiet, but I think it might be a bit too rudimentary to command that sort of money. But when you consider that the competition, primarily the Subaru Outback, is going to give you better off-road cred for less money, it starts to look like maybe not the best option for outdoorsy types.